Yesterday I'm going to harvest the taro, which was an experimental crop. But first I need to trim back some of this pineapple sage, which has gone completely mad in the warm weather we had towards the end of autumn. The smell is divine. Oh, I could grow it just for the smell alone. You can use the leaves in a drink. I haven't. I just love to brush up against it. It's had a haircut a number of times and it just comes back bigger and better than ever each time. The very first time I tried growing pineapple sage was out in the open and the frost killed it. So I didn't worry about it for a couple of years, but then I thought I love it so much, the smell of it, that I'm willing to try again, but this time put it in a more protected area. And I put it here where it only gets the lightest of frosts. It's a little warmish microclimate in winter. And not only did it survive, it thrived. It flowered sparsely through winter. It's only just starting to flower now. And I think that's because it's had too much nitrogen to really flower. The yeast and the spinebills come in and drink the nectar, which is lovely to see. Get through all that. I'll cut it back really hard. We had a lot of rain last night, 61 mils, and that has pushed everything down. It's still quite wet out here. I'll cut this while I'm here. That's actually a lot of parsley seed, flowering, flat leaf parsley. I'll throw that in there. Right, somebody's let the dog out. A quick skip into the future. Yesterday, when I was digging up the taro, I was having memory card issues. Despite 3 attempts to film the actual pulling up of the taro plants, I didn't get the footage. The camera wouldn't recognise the memory card. It was very frustrating. I thought I was successful on the 3rd go, but I wasn't. Anyway, up they came, leaving the beautiful soil in the tub that I will use for something else. Then I went on to the potting up part of the process. I have guinea pigs free ranging in the garden, 4 of them. And here they come. Now I've left the area, here they come. And it looks like they're dining on the pineapple sage. Here comes a little cinnamon into the picture. Vanilla and pepper are out there already. And it just needs tiger to come out. They have a job in my garden to do, which is to keep down the excessive weed growth, but they're a little bit selective. You can see the sheep sorrel in front of them, which they don't eat much of, but they do like the pineapple sage. They're loving that. They also get in and eat the tomatoes that they can reach, and they'll eat the tops off the carrots. So I'm having to make raised beds more and more to keep them out of the areas I don't want them in. Here comes tiger into view. I'm just keeping an eye on them because I certainly don't want them attacking my taro. Something had been getting in underneath the tub that I grew the taro in, which was a cut-off 44-gallon drum or 200-litre drum, metal one. The bottom had long rusted out, so it made a good container for something like taro, which was fairly shallow-rooted, but the worms and other macropods could come and go, and it never dried out too much over summer. I'm just making sure you're not eating my taro. Something had burrowed in from underneath, which was also part of the reason I decided to pull it up today. It's not the guinea pigs. They're not burrowers. I think I have a bandicoot in my garden because I get a few holes and they're notorious for digging holes. But they're only digging holes, they're not eating things. It's the guinea pigs that eat what they're not supposed to. But they're cute. I have brought the taro out here. A little bit like that. I might leave it for now. I'll divide them up into bits that look like they could be eaten. If I pull that off there, I reckon I can grow that one again. That's a maybe. That's too little for anything. That's too little. That one will eat. That's a maybe. That's definitely one for eating. I'll pull that off. But there's... the tuber is so small, I'm not going to worry. I'll just grow that on. That one too. That one too. But we can eat that one. And that one... I might grow that one on. Now I watched another video where they just cut the top. I've already got new growth coming off, so I'll cut it there, I reckon. And then I can plant that and see how it goes. And that's ready for eating. We'll have that tonight, maybe. I can see little green bumps there of new shoots. There's another one there. With the initial one I planted, they were coming up everywhere, all over the whole thing. So I won't go too low because I don't have that much to spare. I'll plant that out. That can be planted. So obviously this is not the right time of year for planting, so they'll have to go into a very protected area. I've got that many to plant. I might do this one even though it's quite small. So my maybes, I'll take them as well. It's little, but it's edible. So that's what I've got that I'm going to eat out of that one tuber that was that big. So I have doubled the size of that tuber and I have all this ready for planting out. This is my potting mix area. I make my own potting mix. I do it 1/3 commercial potting mix, 1/3 my own compost, and 1/3 aged manure. Depending on the type of manure, if it's chicken manure, I actually go a little less, maybe 1/6. I don't like to use horse manure because it has too much weed seed. So what I'll do is just planting. I'll do it fairly deep. And getting rid of the weight on some of this. Cut that back. And that can just go to the compost. Might be easier to just cut all these in one hit. I'll leave that one. It has a new leaf shooting. It's not taking up too much energy at the moment, but I think it will help with the new growth without putting too much of a strain on it. I might leave that one, see how it goes. That one's looking a bit ordinary anyway. Oh, I think I'll leave it. And that one, I'll leave it as one. But these big ones, that will use up a lot of nutrients. Again, I'll leave it with that little one. It's got a decent amount of root on it. That one I'll keep. We have a rainy weekend forecast, which means it's going to be a bit cooler. It's the first time I haven't taken my jumper off after I've started working. And now the breeze is coming up. So I'll just keep potting these up. Before I take the tubers inside, I'll give them a wash. Got this set up here so that any dirt that we wash off stays outside and doesn't end up down the drain. In summertime, when it's a lot drier, I'd catch this water in a container of some sort and then take it out and dump it back on the garden. But because we've had so much rain lately, and we're just at the beginning of our rainy season, I'll just let it wash down the drain, because my drain literally goes out onto the ground and back out here. And this water comes from our tank. See the tank's behind us. So we're on rainwater, and this tank here is our supply against fire. So there we go. I ended up cutting another one off one of the bulbs when I was planting. So that's what we got in all. So here they all are, potted up. I'll just give them a little bit of a drink to wash the dirt off and settle the potting mix. I dare say it'll rain again today, so I don't have to get too carried away. The ones that had absolutely no roots are in this tray, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. This will be protected from frost in the winter time. I haven't done this at the right time of year because we are going into our shutdown season. We're first month into autumn already. We had our very first light frost yesterday. I might even move some of these into the sunroom and see what happens.